Hey everybody, welcome back. Mike here at MH Tutorials. Well guys, today we are going to do a subscriber request, and this one has been on my list for a while. And the request was, can you do a horror chamber? Now, to be completely honest, it's not really my thing, but hey, to each his own, right? So that's what we're going to do today. Okay. Now, we're going to start off by creating a simple cube, something like that. Pull that up, and let's just call this our basic room shape, okay? We're going to hit R, and we're going to scale that out a lot, just because I want it to be to scale somewhat. Hit 5 for shaded mode, and we're going to right-click, go to face, and we're going to take out these three faces. So we got a basic layout of our room, okay? Now, I'm going to start off by creating some wall detailing. Okay, so we're going to go to Polygon menu, Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop Tool, and we'll put one up there, and we'll put one down there. Okay, hit Q on your keyboard, right-click Face. We'll just select these faces here. Oops, not that one. And we're going to go to Edit Mesh and Extrude, and give it some thickness. Let's see if we're getting what we're looking for. Yeah, we are, except we're getting it in the wrong direction. So there we go. Something like that. That's a bit better. Okay, cool. So now that we got that, what we're going to do next is we are going to create a door, and this will be the main door. It's not going to be an opening. It's going to be kind of those industrial, maybe elevator type or slide doors like you would see in a warehouse, something like that. Okay. So for that, we're going to create another cube, something like so. Pull that up. We're going to hit E. We're going to rotate that. Let's rotate that by 90 degrees, minus 90. We're going to hit W, object mode, pull that into our scene, move that towards the wall, hit F to zoom in. Now let's hit R and scale it down a little bit. Bring it down to the floor, something like that. Pull it up just a little. And we're going to create a little rail system for this door. So we're going to create another cube, give it some height, F to zoom in. We're going to go to Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop Tool, put two edges close to the edge, hit Q on your keyboard, right click Face, select these two, Edit Mesh Extrude, hit W and pull that up just a little. Okay. We need to get this thing in position, so right click Object Mode, pull that down, move that over to the wall, and bring that in. And now let's see how we're doing space-wise. Okay, we're going to take both, bring that in. Okay, so that seems to be okay. Maybe we can get a bit more size to the door here. Not too bad. Right click edge, just gonna pull these back up a little, like so. And we're gonna take the real, hit Control D, pull that up, hit E, rotate that over. Oop. 180, there we go. And let's see how that looks. Looks about right. Okay. Now, let's do a little bit more detailing to the door here. First, we're going to pull that out a little, something like that. And we're going to add some edge loops. So I'm just going to pull this guy out so we can see it better. Edit mesh. Where'd he go? Insert edge loop tool. And let's add some. I'll switch views to my front view. Okay, one there, one there. And let's do a set here and here. Hit Q, right click edge, just take these two and hit W and move them. Oops. That looks a bit better. Okay. So now we're gonna right click, go to face, and we're gonna take these faces, edit mesh, extrude, hit W and pull them out just a little. Okay. And next what we're going to do is we're going to create some, I think they're called rivets, not sure. Okay. We're going to create a polygon sphere, drag that out, and we're going to bring back the subdivision quite a bit. 8 by 4. Okay. And then we're going to right click face and we're going to select the bottom half, hit delete, right click object mode, select that guy, hit E, rotate that by 90. Let's bring them into our door. Hit W, F to zoom in, R to scale down quite a bit. Let's see how we're doing. There we go. Okay, scale it down some more. We'll go to our front view so we can see it a bit better. Okay, so let's hit W. Let's bring that up. Control D to duplicate. Bring that down to about here. Shift to D, Shift to D, Shift to D, Shift to D, all the way down. Let's select these and deselect the rest. Mesh combine, Control D, move that over, Control D, and Control D, like so. And then we'll do Control D once more, hit E, rotate by -90. Hit W, and we are going to pull them up, something like so. And then we're going to go to mesh separate, take these two, move them over, take these two, move them over, and these. Looks about right. And then we're going to select all of these, mesh combine, Control D, Shift D, Shift D, Shift D. Okay, now I think we need to bring a couple of these in because probably some of them will be floating. Apparently not, which is good. Okay, so now we're going to take our whole door, so just deselect all the other stuff, mesh combine, and push that door back in. Hit F to zoom in. Let's get it inside our rail. Looks about right. Okay. Alrighty. Now we do need to create a handle for this door, right? And considering it's a sliding door, we need to extend our rails a bit. Okay. So we're gonna go mesh combine, right click vertex, drag select all these and bring them out all the way to the wall. So we got some room to move that door open, and then we'll take our door and move that one over here. And what we'll do is we'll close this up. Right click edge, take that edge and bring that down. And take that edge and bring that up. Like so. Okay. So that's our door. Now we're going to create a handle. So we're going to take a polygon cube, pull that out, F to zoom in, edit mesh, insert edge loop tool, and we'll do one there, and we'll do one there. Right click face, hit Q first. All right, hit W, and just bring that down. And then select this face and that face, edit mesh extrude, hit R, pull them out, something like so. Right click edge, select these outer edges. Oop, not that one. Yep. Edit mesh and bevel, like so. Object mode. Let's position that thing on our door. So E to rotate by -90. Rotate again by back to 0 actually. Yeah, there we go. We're going to hit W to move that in towards our door. Hit F, R to scale that down quite a bit. F again. And we're going to want to have our handle somewhere over here. Maybe there. Let's see. That looks about right. There we go. Okay, cool. And now we're going to take two of these rivets, mesh separate, 1, 2, Control D, modify center pivot. I'm going to bring them in. Hit R, scale them down a little bit. Hit W and push them in like so. Okay, so that's our door. Now, we want to have some industrial pipes going on here, and we also need to have windows. Now, it's going to be dark in this room, so we don't need to create a hole in the wall for the windows. So we're just going to create a frame for that. So we're going to create a cube. We're going to pull that up, something like that. We're going to switch to our top view, edit mesh, insert edge loop tool, and we'll do one there, one there, one there, one there. Let's do two there. Hit Q on your keyboard, right click, edge, take these two, hit W and kind of position them in the middle, okay? We're gonna hit F to zoom in, right click object mode, hit R, make that nice and thin, and then right click face, select these two faces, edit mesh, extrude, hit W and pull that in. Okay, right click object mode, we're going to rotate that around by 90. We're going to rotate that up by 90. We're going to hit W. We're going to bring that into our scene. Hit R to scale down. F to zoom in. Let's move that towards our wall. Let's see how that is looking. Not too bad. Okay. Okay, so we got that. Now, next, what we're going to do is we're going to create some industrial pipes. Okay, so we're just going to create a simple polygon cylinder, and let's do 40 on the subdivision. We're going to hit E, we're going to rotate that to -90. We're going to hit W, we're going to bring that in. Hit R to stretch that out. F to zoom in. Okay, these are a bit thick, so we're gonna scale that down a bit. Something like so. Make sure that we're close to our wall. We're gonna stretch these out a bit. So go to our top view, right click vertex on this guy only, yeah. We're gonna push that just beside our wall there. Same here. We're gonna go to object mode, right click object mode, Control D. We're gonna pull one up to around there. And now we need to create some clamps to hold them in place, if you will. Okay, so we're going to create a polygon cylinder, pipe, sorry, something like that. Hit F to zoom in. We are going to bring the subdivision down on purpose, increase thickness until we get something like that. Yeah, that looks fine. We're going to hit E, we're going to rotate that. minus 90. We're going to hit W, we're going to bring that in. F to zoom in, R to scale down quite a bit. Hit W to bring that up. And again, F to zoom in. Scale down some more. Let's check my various views to see what the size is doing. That looks about right. Okay, we're going to hit Control D to duplicate that. Pull that up until we are good at this angle as well. We're going to select both of them. Control D. Let's do a set over there. Control D. And Control D, and maybe a set down here somewhere. Okay. So now that we got that, we want to have some pipes on the wall as well. So what we'll do is we will take one of these, Control D, move over here, hit E, rotate that by 0, hit W, bring that down, F to zoom in, pull that down, something like that, and we're going to right click edge, take those top edges, object mode, something like that. Cool. We'll take one of these pipes, Control D, E to rotate, back to 0, hit W, move that towards this guy, R to scale it down so it fits inside, push it back a little, something like that. Actually, this doesn't even look that bad, so right click vertex, drag select the top, bring that way down until it's inside our connection piece. We're going to copy that connection piece, Control D, and we're going to bring that up, which will give us something like that. Hit R, stretch it a bit. Okay. And we'll do some clamps on there as well. So take this guy, Control D, W to bring that down, E to rotate to 0, W to bring that in, F to zoom in. Now this pipe is not as wide as the other one. So we're going to hit R, we're going to bring that in a bit. Check it from our top view. And let's see what we got. Control D. And Shift D. Okay. Just to give that industrial feel, if you will. Okay, now we're going to focus on this guy here. We're going to right click face. We're going to select these bottom faces like so. Edit mesh, extrude, hit W, pull that out, pull it down a little bit. That's maybe a bit much. Right click edge, select those edges, and we'll do them as well. Edit mesh and bevel. There we go. Looks a little bit better. Okay. Now to make it a little bit more creepy, we're going to do some bars in front of the windows. Okay. So for that, let's see. I'm going to try something here. Create polygon helix. Okay. Then we're going to hit R. We're going to scale that in. We're going to stretch that out quite a bit. Something like that. And let's increase the radius a bit. Something like that. Right click object mode, hit W, move that towards our window. Okay. Something like that. Let's see if that works. Nope, don't like it. We're going to go with traditional bars. I have to zoom in. Let's scale them down quite a bit, make them nice and thin. That's maybe a bit too thin. Yeah, something like that. Okay. We're going to go to this view here. Right click vertex, drag select, hit W, bring that down until it's inside our frame, and bring that up. Let's see if that is okay. Need to bring that up a bit more. And right click object mode, push the whole thing back a little. Okay, so we got that. Control D to duplicate, pull it over, and Shift D all the way over to there. And then let's select these guys, Control D, and move them over here. Check this view here. Control D. Okay, that gives us our bars. Okay, now let's focus on, okay, let's see, what do we need? We need a sink. Okay, so we're going to do that over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a polygon cube, pull that up, right click, face, select face, edit mesh, extrude, hit R, scale it in just a bit, hit G, W to move down, and then we are going to go to our front view, hit 5 for shaded mode, edit mesh, insert edge loop tool, we'll do one here and one here. Hit Q on the keyboard. Move that one just a little bit over, like so. We're going to hit F to zoom in. Right click edge. We're going to drag select these edges. And I got these two little angles going on, which is nice. Edit mesh, extrude, hit W, pull down. Oh, I want all of these. Yeah, something like that. There's one thing off though, apparently. Just give me one sec, guys. It's not responding the way I thought it would. Looks like I did some duplication there. That's fine. We'll just get rid of these two. Okay. So that shape is fine by me. We are going to try a soft select and see what that looks like. No, that's horrible. I'm going to leave it like this, kind of an industrial look. What we'll do is we'll bevel the edges. Right click edge and just take these edges here. And we'll do the bottom as well. Okay, edit mesh and bevel. And let's increase that quite a bit. Okay, something like that. Right click object mode, hit W, move that over, push it into the corner. F to zoom in. Let's scale it down a bit, not too much. Hit W, bring that into our wall. Height-wise, maybe we can make it a bit bigger. Bring that out just a little. Okay. Now, what we need to do next is create some legs for that thing. So we're going to make them square. Just go to our top view. So, okay, we need to move that quite a bit. Move one there. Hit F to zoom in. Let's do that about there. Control D to duplicate. F to zoom in. And one there. And let's switch to this view. Hit F to zoom in. That's a bit hard to see from this angle. We'll do it over here. Take these two, bring them down until we are sure that they are connecting up there. Mesh combine, right click vertex, drag select the bottom section there and make sure that they're hitting the wall. Okay. Now let's take a section of this pipe here. So that piece, and that. Control D, hit W, move that over. Check it from our front view. We're going to hit 4 for wireframe mode. Let's bring that to the middle, like so. I have to zoom in. We'll get one more clamp here. Control D to duplicate. I have to zoom in. Looks about right. We'll take this guy, wireframe mode, right click, vertex, drag select, pull that up. 5 for shaded mode, have to zoom in. Okay, something like that. And let's see, oops. We'll do edit mesh, insert edge loop tool. We'll do one there and one there. Q, right click vertex, drag select, hit W. Let's see what the best angle is here. Something like that. Okay. And now we'll create a handle for this. So what we'll do is we will create a polygon sphere. We'll bring subdivisions down to, let's say, 3 by 7. Okay. And then we'll take a polygon cube, pull that up, pull that in, check from a top view. We'll do something like that. And then we'll do edit mesh, insert edge loop tool. And we'll do one right there and one there. Q on the keyboard, right click edge, select these two edges, hit R and scale them in. Right click vertex, these two, push them in a bit as well. Looks about right. Have to zoom in. We're gonna right click, go to edge, and we're gonna select the outer edges, edit mesh and bevel, like that. We're gonna right click at object mode, select these two, mesh, combine, E to rotate, -90, modify center pivot, R to scale down, W to move in, up and in. Have to zoom in. And as you can see, we need to scale this down quite a bit. We're going to create a little addition here. We're going to create a little pipe. Pull that up, hit E, rotate that by 90, -90 in this case. Hit W, bring that up and in until it's touching the wall. Bring that down. Take our handle, and let's get our handle in front of that thing. Okay, have to zoom in. Something like that. Select these two, mesh, combine, modify center pivot, one there, Control D, move on over there, and we'll hit E and we'll rotate that one a little bit. Oops, not there. We need to make sure that our pivot is right. So hit the insert key, bring it to the center, and now we can hit E and rotate that a little bit. Something like that. And I think we'll have to do the same here. Hit the insert key, hit E and rotate. Bit back, something like that. Now the only thing we need to deal with now is spacing. We need to bring that one out a little bit. And that one in. Just check from this view here. This one seems to be a bit higher for some reason. Okay, cool. So now that we got that, we are going to create the prep table, if you will. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to create a little drain for our wash unit here. So we're just going to simply create a polygon cylinder, move that in, just check from our top view. Have to zoom in. That looks about right. Give it a bit more subdivision, let's say 40. And bring that back just a little. Check our height here to make sure that it's underneath. So pull that down. That's our floor level. Right click vertex, drag select the top, and bring that in just a little bit, which gives us the situation here. It's fine. Okay, and so now next what we're going to do is we're going to create a drain in the floor. Okay, so right click face, edit mesh, extrude, hit R, bring that in, something like so. Have to zoom in, edit mesh, extrude, W to pull up, just slightly, G to repeat, R to scale in, G to repeat, W to push down, something like that, and then G to repeat, R to scale in again, and W to push down a little, something like that. Okay, then we're going to hit delete. We're going to remove that section. We're going to take a couple of our window bars here, right click object mode, and we're just going to select those, mesh combine, Control D, modify center pivot, bring them out, hit E, rotate that by 90, hit W to move that down, switch to our top view, I have to zoom in, let's bring that towards our scene here, And now we can start to bring that down, which will give us something like this. Okay. And not to make that look totally weird, what we're going to do is we're going to create a quick plane. And let's push that down. Okay, cool. So now that we got that, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the central slaughter table. Okay. Create a polygon cube, drag that out to roughly the size of the table, something like that. Hit W, bring that in. Right click face, select that face, edit mesh, extrude, hit R, and bring that in and push that out, something like that. F to zoom in, W to move down to get that shape. And then we're going to take one edge here, that one, and we're going to bring that one back up. So we got a bit of slope going on there. Okay. We're going to take, actually what we're going to do is we're going to go to our top view, F to zoom in, and we want to have a drain in this table. So edit mesh, insert edge loop tool. We'll do one there, one there, one there, one there. Hit Q on our keyboard, which will give us this face here. Select face, edit mesh, extrude, hit W, move that down, hit R, scale that in, something like so. And we'll just create a little edge around that. So edit mesh, insert edge loop tool. Hit Q on your keyboard. Right click face. Let's get in closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Edit mesh, extrude, hit W, and just pull that up slightly, not too much. Okay, and then we'll take that face and hit delete. Okay, now let's see if the proportions of the table are right. So we're going to bring that in, and that is not too bad. Let's check it from this angle, somewhere around there. From our top view, maybe a bit bigger, something like so. Okay, let's create some legs for our table. We'll take these, mesh, separate. Actually, that's too easy. What we'll do is we'll take a polygon cylinder, pull that up, hit F to zoom in, edit mesh, insert edge loop tool. Where'd you go? Right there. We'll do that. Right click face, select those faces, edit mesh, extrude. That didn't stick for some reason. Edit mesh, extrude, hit R, that's better. Right click vertex, drag select the top, hit W, pull that up, something like so. And then right click object mode, and let's start to move that in to about there. Let's bring that down until it's underneath our table. First, we're going to scale it in quite a bit. Okay, bring that down. That looks like our floor. Control D to duplicate. Pull it over here. Let's see what we got. Looks like I need to bring them down just a bit. They're sticking out underneath, but that's okay. Control D to duplicate. And I'll just check our top view to make sure that it's all right. That should be about good. Okay. Now let's create some restraining brackets. So for that, we'll take a polygon cube. Actually, we will not. We'll just we'll take this. We'll take a polygon torus. Let's increase the section radius quite a bit. And yeah, let's do a bit more subdivision, like so. We're going to hit E. We're going to rotate that by 90. Hit F to zoom in. We'll do that from this view here. Actually, that's not ideal. We'll do this view here. F to zoom in. Right click face. Drag, select the bottom half. Hit delete. There we go. We're going to right click, go to object mode. Select that guy. Hit R, scale it down. We're going to move that in towards our table. Let's see where we're at. Check from our top view. So we got one right there. Control D. I'll do one about there. Control D. One about there. And then we'll select all three. Control D and move them over. And let's see what we got. That doesn't look too bad. Okay. So we got that. Now let's create a little ceiling. Not even that far off. Not bad. Let's bring that down. All right. And what I want to do now is I want to create some lights, not the traditional lights, but the, you know, what are used on in scenes like this. Something like that. I'm going to right click, go to vertex. I'm going to select these for vertices. I'm going to hit R. I'm going to scale in, which will give me something like that. Stretch up, take the whole deal, stretch that out maybe. Let me see. Modify center pivot, right click face. I'll just delete that face and then right click object mode, select that, edit mesh, extrude, and give it some thickness, something like that. We'll quickly put in some lights. So we'll create a tube, hit E, rotate that by -90. Let's bring that inside. So hit R, scale that down. Control D to duplicate. And we'll just make sure I'm object mode. Something like that. Check it from this view here. They need to be brought in. And they need to be stretched in a little bit like that. Which gives us this. All right. We'll do 2 quick cables on top. So we'll do 1, Control D, 2, take these 2, bring them in, check from our top view. That looks about right. And from this view, something like so. Okay. Right click the whole thing, mesh combine. We're gonna modify center pivot, bring that into our scene, hit F to zoom in. Hit F again. And let's go to our top view. Something like that. 4 for wireframe mode, F to zoom in. And let's pull it up to our ceiling. So let's see what we got. Maybe some more, okay. I think we're getting close to the end, guys. So I'm just gonna quickly set up some lights here. Hang on. View, I'm gonna bookmark this. Let's call that new. Apply and close. We'll create some material for this. Assign the material. Lambert. And let's change that to not completely white, but something close. Create lights. Let's do an area light. F to zoom in. We're going to hit E. We're going to rotate that down. We're going to hit R. We're going to stretch that out. And let's see if we can get that thing close to Okay, we're going to go to our bookmark, new, and let's go to our render settings. And we're going to go to mental ray, quality tab, pull that up to about 1.5. I'll do the image size on HD 720. Let's see. Okay, HD 720. There we go. And let's give this a go. Not too bad. We'll just add one small additional light in the top here so we get a sense of the rest of the scene. So create light, point light, and then pull that one way up. And we're going to decrease the intensity quite a bit. Let's go to our outliner. Let's see, we got our area light, something like that. Okay, view, bookmark, new, and let's do a resolution that's slightly higher. Okay, hang on, there we go, and render. That's a bit better. We see a little bit more detail of the pipes next to the wall and so forth. So, and you know, to fully texture this and tweak the lighting, that would be at least another hour. So, hopefully, nevertheless, this tutorial is helpful and it gives you a sense of things that you can do when you want to model a horror chamber, torture chamber, whatever you want to call that, right? Like I said, it's not exactly my thing, but I can understand, you know, for games and so forth that you would want to do this. So we'll give the render another second or so. Almost there. Yeah, we got some nice detail there. We can see our door handle and so forth. Okay, guys, well, this is it. This is our horror chamber. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and hopefully it was helpful. If you got any questions, let me know, and thank you guys for watching.